Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss how beautiful life around us and also our first chapter, the living world. So let's dive into it. What is biology? Yes, biology is the science of life and life processes. Early humans tried to distinguish between living things and non-living things. As this study or differentiation continued, the classification and identification nomenclature of organisms also grew. It formed a systematic system. So, while dealing with this classification and systematics, we have to learn about the important guy, and his name is Ernst Mayr. He is a renowned evolutionary biologist, also called as Darwin of 20th century. He's developed the current definition of biological species and also research in the field of ornithology, systematics, and evolution. So we know that the living world is a wonderland. Like there are many diverse organisms, habitats, and plants like the cold mountains, forests, oceans, and when we look around, we can see a vast diversity of life. So, this vast diversity is called biodiversity. In other words, biodiversity is the variability of life on Earth. It can be measured on various levels. There are several examples like, genetic variability, species diversity, ecosystem diversity, and phylogenetic diversity. Over 1.7 to 1.8 million species have been identified till today. The number grows as new species are continued to discover. So there are many organisms on Earth and we need to name them for the ease of various purposes. Like why do we have a name? Yes, we need a name like that's how someone identifies us, right? But we need a standard system of naming, right? Like in my class, there are four boys named as Rahul. And when someone called Rahul, all of them will be like, yeah, what? What is it? So we need a systematic system or scientific system of naming. There are other problems too, like local names for plants and animals vary widely within a country. To avoid the confusion and ensure clear communication, we need a standard naming system, and this system of naming is called nomenclature. It allows scientists to identify and name organisms consistently across the globe. There are different types of naming systems. Most popular one among them is binomial nomenclature. It is a formal system of naming which comprises of two parts. So, in binomial nomenclature, an organism's name have two parts. The first part is called generic name or genus name, and the second part is called specific epithet or species name. This system was introduced by Carl Linnaeus. Let's look into an example. Here, the scientific name of mango is given. It is Mangifera indica. So when we look into this name, Mangifera, the term Mangifera means it belongs to the genus Mangifera, and the indica means its species name. So Mangifera indica is the scientific name of mango. There are certain rules, when we introduce a system, there will be certain rules. The main four rules of binomial nomenclature are given here. First one, the names should be in Latin and written in italics. There will be two parts of a name. The first word should be its genus name, and the second word should identify its species name. Genus name should be start with capital letter, and species name will be start with a lowercase or small letter. And both words should be underlined when handwritten or written when typed. It should be italics. Sometimes the author's name. The author means the person who described that organism. Okay. So the author's name also appear after the species name. For example, scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica. And here, as we can see, it is written as Mangifera indica Linn. Here, the last word Linn stands for Linnaeus. That means Linnaeus described this species. So next, we are looking to the three words: classification, taxonomy, and systematics. Some people use these words interchangeably, like they are synonyms. But there are certain difference between these words. Okay, each of these words have their own meaning. Classification means the grouping of organisms into categories. These categories are known as taxa, like for example, dogs, cats, mammals, etc. These organisms are classified based on their observable characters, okay, based on their similarities and dissimilarities. And the word taxonomy means it is a scientific study of classification. That means classification is a practical process, and taxonomy is its theoretical study. The taxonomy is a science of classification which include characterization, identification, classification, and nomenclature. So taxonomy is more theory based, and classification is based on practical purposes. And while we look into the word systematics, it is a broad branch of science. Okay, it includes the study of organisms, identification, classification, and nomenclature. It is concerned with the evolution of organisms relationship. So, systematics is a broad branch of science, and taxonomy is a part of systematics. Okay, and classification is a practical application of taxonomy. I hope it's clear. And so, here are some benefits or advantages of classification or the grouping of organisms. It enhances our understanding of biodiversity. It enables people from around the world to communicate effectively about living things. It allows us to identify new species in a remote habitat. And also, it allows us to name organisms that we are unsure about. It also assists us in ecological studies and species conservation. So, we only learned a few things today. First, we learned what is biology. It is a science of life and living processes. Then we learned who was Ernst Mayr. He's the Darwin of 20th century and is also an evolutionary biologist. Then we learned about biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variability of life on Earth. It can be measured on various levels like genetic level, species level, diversity, ecosystem level, etc. And then we learned about the scientific naming and its importance and need. A scientific name has two parts. First one is its genus name, and second one is its species name. And then we learn about some rules of binomial nomenclature. And then we learn about the words classification, taxonomy, and systematics. Then the benefit of classification. That's all for today. I hope you understand well and have a good day. Thank you.